On the Capitol Watch now, Idaho lawmakers introduced a bill that would ban diversity, equity, and inclusion offices at public universities. Some of these centers include supporting women and diverse students. Similar movements have been made in other states like Oklahoma, Texas, and North Dakota, just to name a few. And our Brenda Rodriguez explains.
Mr. Chairman, I move we introduce to print RS 31237 relating to higher education fairness.
Senate Bill 1357 prohibits Idaho's public colleges and universities the use of public funds to support diversity, equity, and inclusion staff members, offices, and trainings.
We don't want to support them in the sense that where they spend a lot of taxpayer money going after LGBTQ diversity, equity, and inclusion as if that's a special class of person and spending a lot of taxpayer money to really encourage that class of person over and above others.
Senator Scott Herndon is one of the bill sponsors. He says a bill would save more than $3,200,000 per year.
Don't want to literally pay $4 million in taxpayer money just to target one specific class of student.
But Boise community leader and university alum Ismael Mendoza
devastated.
Says that's a misconception.
The word equity, diversity, and inclusion, I feel like people think you need to be diverse just to be a part of these organizations. I look at these offices more as equalizers.
Herndon doesn't agree with that.
In other words, diversifying and segregating groups. That's not how you get to equal treatment. The way you get to equal treatment is basically have a level playing field.
But University of Idaho students Anthony Gonzalez and Andrea Morales says opportunities to get into higher education are not equal, and programs like these are necessary for their success.
Just hits close to home for me just because, again, I'm in these programs and they've helped me out so much.
Personally, I'd be completely lost coming into university, not knowing what to do, but these programs not only cultivated a sense of belonging for me at the university in a place where I feel like I see very little representation.
And from his own experience, Gonzalez says removing these offices would also remove students like him from attending school.
If we take, people of color and people of, from underrepresented backgrounds away from certain job titles, I think it removes the culture and it removes the diversity and it removes the knowledge that we know from those areas.
In the last 2 years, a report from the Idaho State Board of Education shows an increase of overall enrollment numbers at Idaho's higher education institutions.
We have universities that are very effectively recruiting, and if you look at student populations at the universities, they've been on a steady increase.
Do you think that by passing something like this, those numbers will drop?
I don't think so at all.
Do you think that if it weren't for them, you wouldn't have gone to school?
Yes, 100%.
Right now, Senate Bill 1357 is in the Senate State Affairs Committee waiting for public testimony.
We expect that it'll get a fair hearing and that members of this body will get an opportunity to consider the legislation.
With the bill officially printed, students are waiting for their chance to testify in committee to advocate to protect their safe spaces.
It's just super important to keep people aware of, of what's happening and, prepare for things to happen, just in case.
Just not thinking about other students being able to experience that would truly be heartbreaking for me.
BSU students met last week to raise awareness about this matter. Tonight, University of Idaho students are meeting to continue the conversation. The bill sponsors, Brian Lenny and Elaine Price, did not comment on the bill.